Golden belly mangabeys, again, really cool, and another example of the diversity of the collection here because they're extremely rare. If you try and do any sort of literature review on golden bellied mangabeys in the wild, you find very, very little about them. You find very little about their social structure. We assume because of their size and how we've seen them in the wild before that they live in a multi-male, multi-female social group. Ours here do. They tend to be sympatric with some of the apes, and you find them in places like the Democratic Republic of the Congo. You find them living kind of amongst bonobos or around bonobos or around the bonobo sanctuaries. They will exhibit a linear dominance hierarchy, so nobody shares the same rank. There's highest ranking, second, third, fourth, fifth. All of those relationships, again, are maintained through antagonistic or affiliative relationships or behaviors, so grooming, fighting, threats, this and that. Very expressive faces, and that's one of the things that you can see in a lot of forest monkeys is you'll see, really light eyelids that are all part of an eyelid flash display. And all of those things, those visual signals become a lot more important in a forest. They're pretty meticulous about the way they eat, and they have, enriching their environment has always been something I think we've been pretty good at by acknowledging that and providing them with stuff. And you end up having to do a lot of extra stuff in the exhibit because since they are so inquisitive and so willing to tear things apart, you kind of have to take that into consideration when you're putting the exhibit together.
Here we have the golden belly mangabeys. As you just witnessed, this monkey eats just like a human does with its thumbs. It's able to pick through food, use a precision grip to eat the food, and also this monkey is fairly interesting because it's just as comfortable in the trees as it is down on the ground floor.
Get to our apes, you kind of really get to finish the full circle on the whole evolution. Currently, we have two troops of gorillas. Both are family groups, and these are our single male harem groups is what we call them. And again, huge obvious signal is the giant difference in the size between the silverback male and the females, the sexual dimorphism. He's about 3 times bigger than the girls. And the fact that there is a significant amount of maternal investment in all primates. What's rare, what we don't see as often, is we don't see that much of paternal investment in primates. In the monogamous primates, we do, and the males tend to kick down just as much as the females do. But in most situations where you have multiple males and multiple females, males aren't always that encouraged or not always that motivated to take responsibility for kids that might not be theirs. Those are genes that don't belong to them. When you're in a single male group, those are your genes. That little kid better be yours. You're the only male in that group. So we see a lot of physical adaptations with them. And one of them is that, like the male gorillas, their genitalia is very, very tiny because they're not competing at the level of sperm competition. When you have multiple males, you have to produce more sperm than the other guy. These guys don't have to do that. And you'll also see a significant amount of paternal investment. Now, it's different than, say, a monogamous group, and it borders sometimes on tolerance, but what it really is a lot of play behavior, and especially the gender differences in the kids. Male baby gorillas idolize their father and will spend a lot of time just around him and paying attention to him, mimicking him and all that stuff. The female babies will also pay attention to him a lot, but they'll get to a certain age where they just really start to focus on the other females in the group and learning the social skills of getting along and all of those things. So that's really one of those great places where you can pay attention and see all the dynamics of a family group and all the dynamics of social situations going on. Here, people come a lot. You can have people that come every day and visit the same apes, and they certainly are capable of recognizing faces and all that stuff. And so you'll see differential responses based on that. And there are certainly some hams in the collection. Let's put it that way. There are certainly some hams. They tend to be the younger ones, but they tend to really enjoy that whole thing. And that's a comment you hear quite a bit, is people say, "Who's watching who?" They're standing out there saying, "Who's watching who?" And for sure, this is a social, very complex animal that's capable of really transient, abstract thoughts about social structure. They have to look at other animals and determine how they rank amongst each other and how they rank against that individual that's looking. That's a complex thought that we usually reserve only for humans. So it would probably be naive to think that they're not looking out into that troop or out into the group that's on the other side of the glass and making inferences about who's who. That's a distinct possibility.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our time here at the San Diego Zoo. It didn't rain on us, which is always a plus there. You never know about the weather when we do these things real quick for class. But great examples of Tom and Lee share traits that we have with them. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. We definitely enjoyed making it.